Anthem is BioWare's latest gaming endeavor, and to be honest, there's a lot riding on this game, for both EA and BioWare's sake. With Anthem nearing its launch, there's a lot to talk about how it's a lot like the Destiny franchise. Hey Shackers, Greg here, and today I'll be counting down the top 10 differences between Anthem and Destiny. This list will start out with smaller differences and get more extreme as we get higher up. A few notes. This is based off an 8-hour private demo of Anthem, the VIP beta weekend, and the beta weekend, so we have a good idea about what the game wants to be. This also isn't a way to diss on Destiny. If you like Destiny, cool, keep playing Destiny. If you're unsure about Anthem or are hesitant to pick it up, this video is for you. So let's sit down and try to defend the droves of gamers claiming it's a Destiny clone. These are the top 10 differences between Anthem and Destiny. The most obvious difference in Anthem is the third-person view. Granted, in the city hub you're in first person, and in Destiny, when you use your super, you're also put in third-person view, but the majority of the game in Destiny is first person, compared to the majority of the game in Anthem, which is third person. Both the camera view angles are exactly opposite of each other. A small and obvious difference, but important to bring up. Another obvious yet clear difference in Anthem, you can take to the sky. You're able to fly anywhere in free roam, or in dungeons at any time. So far from what we've played, each javelin feels great to pilot and land, giving you a sense of power to your avatar. The feeling of taking flight and landing in Anthem is very gratifying, and you'll be doing it again and again.
You're gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it! Woo! Superhero landing!
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
While abilities are encouraged to be spammed in Destiny, they're used even more in Anthem, with shorter cooldowns on core abilities, not to mention the abilities are a lot flashier than the ones in Destiny. Some javelins are used solely for spamming abilities, like the Storm. I was so busy using my core abilities to freeze enemies, I barely used my two weapons. Granted, both Destiny and Anthem have multiple abilities. Anthem at its core has 5, while Destiny sports only 4. Most of Anthem's abilities are on a very short cooldown cycle. Some stack or can be used multiple times before needing to recharge at all. The only thing that charges slower is your ultimate, which varies based on javelin and enemies defeated. But even that cooldown is relatively fast compared to the Warlock, Titan, and Hunter supers in Destiny. Granted, the Destiny franchise has retooled their loot system a ton to make players feel more rewarded. But we noticed that Anthem, especially on mission and dungeon runs, gave players a substantial amount of loot in the form of weapons, support gear, components, and of course, ability items. And it didn't stop there. Armor pieces, which are mostly visual in Anthem, also drop. At the end of a mission, or a free roam, it was pretty clear that you just got a lot more stuff than you would on your average Destiny instance run. Destiny 2 did have in-game harvestable resources in hub sections, and you turn them in for reputation rewards based on faction and what items you've collected. Anthem, being a BioWare game, takes a more RPG approach. In the world, there are plants, minerals, and so forth that are harvestable that allow you to craft gear, or one-time use items that increase a certain type of damage or let you perform bonus damage with your javelin. Of course, being the demo, we didn't have access to the shopkeeper or a lot of the armor slot recipes, but you can assume a decent deep crafting system will be in the game, which when compared to Destiny's crafting system is a lot more impressive. Destiny 2 allowed you to choose one main class, however you could have alternate characters, but progress did not share over. In Anthem, you're not limited to one javelin, rather you have access to all 4, albeit some grinding to unlock them first. This allows you the option to play 4 different classes at any given time, all that share progress across the board and allow you to explore the diverse gameplay of each suit. This is a nice touch, as most RPG games do lock you into a single class build or make you create alts to get the full experience. While both games have a loot system that drops armor and weapons, the system in Anthem is a little deeper. Yes, Destiny has armor pieces that affect cooldowns and abilities, but the number of modifiers in Anthem in the form of components is staggering in comparison. Both of the weapon types in Destiny and Anthem are similar. The only big difference I notice is that Anthem has machine pistols, while Destiny does not. Some of the weapons in Anthem are even locked exclusively to certain Javelin suits, like the flamethrower for the Colossus. Armor also drops, and in the case of Anthem, it's stored automatically to your account. Of course, most of the armor that dropped was visual only, but it's nice not to worry about keeping items in a bank, and that transmogging gear is fairly easy with everything being in one place. BioWare has stated in multiple interviews that there will be no PvP at launch. Whether or not they plan to add it later is unknown and shouldn't be ruled out. However, it's not here now. So unlike Destiny's Crucible, there's no arena mode to test your Javelin skills against other players. It's a pretty big difference between both games. The Destiny 2 story was improved from the first game drastically, but from the moment we played the first 2 hours of Anthem, it was clear there's just a lot more here. In-game cutscenes, pre-rendered CGI cutscenes, and multiple character VO interactions bring a sense of life and story that Destiny just hasn't done yet. It does help that one of the original writers for the Mass Effect and Dragon Age franchises is help writing the story for Anthem, and it comes through with more interesting characters and plot than sadly Destiny ever has. The way you play matters. Each Javelin is its own unique playstyle. Combine this with the sheer godlike amount of gear that augments your abilities to survive longer, do more damage, be faster, do acid AoE, freeze AoE, and you get a Diablo level of builds, multiple builds for each Javelin. This also goes hand in hand with the 4 types of elemental status effects: ice, fire, acid, lightning, and wind. These status effects do more than just burn through a specific shield type. You can freeze enemies, making them brittle, and upon a melee attack, they shatter for bonus damage, performing a combo, encouraging teamwork in more ways than just unloading thousands of bullets into an enemy. In my experience with the Storm Javelin, I barely used my primary weapons. I was just freezing everything in sight, while my Colossus friends smashed them to pieces. It's the insane amount of builds you can do that makes each Javelin play differently, extremely differently. And that's probably the biggest difference between Destiny and Anthem. What key differences did you guys see? Let us know in the comments below. For more videos like this and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com.
Get down!
Oh, I think you should lead with that next time.
Yeah, sorry, boss. I can only use it once. It's a one-off.